As we're getting ready to head into October here, I thought it best that we cover the tech choices that are continuously being made in this game, because once we head into the month, you know, a lot of things are changing, and, you know, double YCSs this past weekend, things kind of have changed a little bit in the game. Not really, but it's cool to make it sound like this game is constantly evolving, because it actually is. But let's dig on into the 5 most interesting things that kind of caught my attention out of the YCSs this weekend, shall we? Tech update time! I love these videos. So, we have, first on the list here, Get Out. No, really, Get Out. So, this card, well, first up, this card's still like $6, which is kind of surprising. And this actually came across the top 8 Cyber Dragon list, the pure one, by the way, was in his side deck. So, standard normal trap card. You know how much I hate trap cards, right? They have to be chainable or they're not going to really do anything, but at least this is chainable. So you can target 2 monsters your opponent controls that were special summoned from the extra deck. Okay, that's pretty good. Shuffle them into the deck. You can only activate 1 Get Out once per turn. So here's the straight honest truth about this. This card's pretty good. We've continuously seen decks this format that are, well, not fair, in my opinion. Watching multiple cards be summoned from the extra deck is pretty crazy. And the thing that makes this card kind of balanced is it has to be 2. You don't get to cheese only target 1 of these. If it said up to 2, I think this card would be a little bit more broken, but it's still a normal trap card. It's still 100% chainable. And as a side deck choice, you bring it in certain matchups, you should at least have an idea of what you're looking to do with it, because once again, it's in your side deck, man. Like, you know what you're doing with this. You're bringing it in for certain matchups. You know, these matchups where certain cards are degenerate. Yeah, that one. You know exactly which one I'm talking about. Come on now. So anything that generically special summons from the extra deck, anything that basically goes, oh, ha 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 ha, watch me do my thing. I really want to bring this in against pendulums, because, you know, P5. Yeah, that's a good day. So, yes, Get Out being a tech choice right now for side decks is definitely not a bad thing whatsoever. It actually is probably a good thing that we have some sort of counterplay to the metagame. Now, next on our list here is Mirage. Now, you're probably like, why are we talking about a Link monster? So, I saw Mirage this weekend being played in a really interesting way. And it's a counter to There Can Only Be One. And you might be like, oh, well, duh. Everybody knows that. Well, here's the thing. Not everybody does. But, so basically, Cyber Dragon player starts off with their core normal summon. Feature match, opponent flips There Can Only Be One. We don't want to watch our Sky Striker get contact out. Our opponent has their machine on the field. So at this point, you're like, oh, shenanigans. Alright, I link away my Cyber Dragon core, summon my little Mirage. So now that you've changed your attribute freeing up machine, at this point, drop another monster on the field, you're able to make the Phoenix, which outs There Could Only Be One, which is absolutely crazy. It's actually really cool that we can actually, you dedicate 1 slot of the extra deck to the ability to basically out a certain card. Now, in the situation of, this does seem situational, but in other matchups, Mirage can do the exact same thing. You know, Salamangreat needs to get something off the field. Go ahead and, terrible example, by the way, because everybody pretty much the same there, but in the same way, like, you need to get a spellcaster off the board in your beautiful Altergeist deck. Man, I miss Altergeist. It's having flashbacks to field spell plus Altergeist playing Sky Striker, and you just lose. But Mirage trigger your search. Like, Mirage is great. Now that we can also use it in ways to break boards, I'll take it. Come on now. Like, 1 extra deck slot that you really don't necessarily need per se, granting you the ability to break probably the most detrimental card to your deck, we'll take it. So, now, we also need to talk about Chimera Tech Mega Fleet. I believe I've already covered this, but I wanted to reiterate this again because I saw a lot of Chimera Tech Mega Fleets in side decks and in extra decks coming out of the events this weekend and regionals the weekend before. It's not a secret that this is starting to be a thing. The fact that you can use your own opponent's monsters against them. So basically the old Khmer Tech Fortress trend that was going on years ago, where if you were, playing Cyber Dragon, your opponent left one on the field, you could just contact it out with a machine monster and take full advantage of it. Years later, we've come and repeated the same history now. If your opponent leaves that Cyber Dragon monster on the field, you get to take free advantage of it and break their board. And it's really cheesy, actually, that we've evolved to the metagame point that we need to do this. We've seen this trend with Hida. Players were making Hida basically for Salad, and the card stuck around because, in the Sky Striker, maybe you can take your opponent's Kagari. It's cutesy wootsy. So I like that quite a lot. Like, Hida was the first modern day example of this. Mega Fleet's the second modern day example of this now. So it's pretty cool that the format's gone so degenerate that every deck has to play a copy of the broken card. And I've made the point about this in the past, where you see decks that have counters built into themselves. Other decks have to play them. Sirocco of the Dawn, key example for this. He's the perfect anti-mirror match card for Blackwings. Your opponent summons a full Blackwing board, passes turn, summons Sirocco, absorb all the attack, OTK them. Like, it was a really weird thing, but here we are, back again, Mega Fleet breaking those unbreakable boards. Essentially, just don't leave a Cyber Dragon monster in your Dingrisu on the field. You're going to have an incredibly bad time. Now, with this being said, we actually saw a lot of Nightmare Griffin this weekend. And Nightmare Griffin was being paired, of course, with Curious, because, they kind of go hand in hand with each other. And it's been a little while since we've seen Curious Boy seeing play. Curious is still a fantastic card. Oh my gosh, don't get me wrong. Like, Curious's dump ability is single-handedly the reason why he is good. And then you kind of pair him back with the Griffin, and you get to, reset whatever you dumped. I think the biggest thing this weekend we saw was the ability to dump the summon limit off of Curious Boy, and then you just look at your opponent and go, your turn. Flip the summon limit. Well, good luck making a board within, 2 summons. Like, it just doesn't work. Griffin, discard 1, reset a Spell and Trap card from your graveyard. But it cannot be activated this turn. Okay, nobody really cares about that. And then, when this card was co-linked, uses its effect. Or, excuse me. It's the thing that makes this card also good is once per turn, special summon monsters on the field cannot activate their effects unless they are linked. So if you've got something just... You basically got the summon limit, and you've got Griffin chilling. And Griffin be like, okay, cool, no effects for you, and then you've got, oh, okay, summon limit face up on the field. It's actually a pretty detrimental combo. I don't think a lot of decks are going to be able to out that this format. Actually, I don't even know if any decks can out that this format. You literally have to, I guess Dark Hole MST breaks it. That's pretty cute, I guess, but who's playing Dark Hole this format? Who's playing Raigeki this format? I guess you could Kaiju, yeah, you could Kaiju over the Griffin, which would allow you to do something, but you still got to answer the summon limit because you just lost one of your summons right there. So, I don't know. Good luck. That's all I'm going to say about that. Like, it was really cute. And then the last one here is Mystic Mine. I believe it was Jonas Kaschel that broke this card this weekend. I watched a feature match, I believe it was Jonas, where he was playing the Thunder Mirror match. And his opponent sets up their board, life's going great, they got a Titan. Jonas plays this beautifully. Jonas goes ahead, starts attempting to bait out his opponent, triggers some stuff early, and then Jonas makes a Titan. And then he uses his own Titan to kill his own Titan. Yeah, it's pretty cute that that's how that actually works. And then he stuck Mystic Mine on the field, and that's all she wrote for about 15 minutes, as his opponent didn't have a single out in his deck. And of course, you're not going to, straight honestly, you're not going to side in anything. Why would you bring in Spell and Trap removal in the mirror? Like, hello, that doesn't make any sense to me. Jonas played it quite beautifully. Mystic Mine was able to steal the game away from his opponent, who probably had a much better setup. And you just go to a straight deck out game at this point. I mean, that was probably the coolest tech option I've seen in a very long time, and it was awesome. Like, I was genuinely excited to watch Jonas stick the Mystic Mine on the field. and just watch his opponent not be able to do anything. Like, that's what Yu-Gi-Oh! Is about, ladies and gentlemen. We stole that from our opponent, and they deserved the win. And you know what? It was a beautiful thing. I will say that. So, that being said, that's our tech update for the month. What do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. And well, let's hope Mr. Mind gets banned next list, shall we? Peace out, guys. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a Truffle Shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out VanCole40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.